Be stern, Duncan Locke's mind prompts him as he advances toward the couple. The rough trail he is following emerges from the woods at a small gravel beach, and he estimates that the pair who stand at the water's edge are in their early 20s, less than half his age. Both are in jeans and t-shirt, she not bad looking in a stupid sort of way. They are staring across the half-kilometer width of the lake's west arm. Duncan catches his left hand floating up to begin to skim the back of his skull, checking the extent of his bald spot. "Leave your hair alone," his wife Anne frequently commands in the midst of their arguments. "It'll disappear soon enough without you fingering it all the time." Duncan halts where the trail ends amidst the scrubby young cottonwood. He can hear the burbling of the little creek that flows alongside the path, the water hardly more than a trickle, even now in late June, and a noisy outboard or sea-doo on the arm. He interlaces his fingers over his stomach to keep his left hand under control, waits to see if the couple will notice him. "Get the drop on them," Duncan orders himself. He steps forward. "This is private property." The young people swing around, cow-like expressions pointed at him. "Huh?" the male responds. His face begins closing down. A man trying to assess, Duncan thinks, whether the situation calls for bluster. "This is private property. You are trespassing." "Huh?" the male repeats. What do you mean?" "Stalling for time," Duncan concludes. "We saw the sign," from the female, defensive. "Yeah, there's a for sale sign by the road. How are we supposed to buy something if we can't look at it?" The male. Duncan unleashes the glare. The glare is a courtroom technique he has perfected, an intense, disapproving stare. Reliably intimidating, he has decided. The trick is to hold your face, your eyes directed at your opponent as if overcome by negative, sensuous thoughts, and to hold it longer than seems natural. Duncan finds the glare useful during cross, but he's learned also to swivel around and direct the glare at the section of the courtroom gallery where the supporters of the other side are seated, perhaps while opposing counsel is summing up, or just before court convenes. The glare lets the targets feel he has utter contempt for their wrong-headedness, for their misguided existence. The act seldom fails to discomfort those who have backed the other side, which is a service to his client, win or lose. The clients get the grin. The glare and the grin, the two sides of the coin of courtroom success. The grin is reassuring, encouraging. It lets Duncan's clients understand Duncan is in charge, in control, useful in examiner-in-chief as he builds his case with his witnesses. After the grin, they are at ease with him. They are certain they're doing great. Or he employs the grin when an opposing witness says something in cross Duncan needs to demolish, a statement he wants the judge to regard as incontestably wrong. Duncan will stop the flow of questions, drop his pen on the notepad, or his notes on the lectern, give an exasperated sigh and head shake. He stalks across the courtroom and pauses in front of the client and the client's friends in the gallery, silently counts 3, then gives them the grin. They know he is on top of it. They know they are getting their money's worth. They realize the opposition doesn't have a chance. After that, Duncan strolls back to the hostile witness, who during this pause has to wait, nervous in the witness box. Duncan then slowly lifts and scans his notes. He is giving the witness time to doubt. Gee, was what I said really that dumb? Invariably, Duncan finds hostile witnesses more tractable after a dose of the glare and the grin. He has planted the all-important seed of uncertainty, planted it with the judge, planted it with the other side, with the opposing lawyer, too. Of course, any strategy can get shop-worn. The technique has started to lose effectiveness with some colleagues, Duncan has to admit, but never with opposing witnesses, never against a new lawyer locally or one from out of town. As for the judges, Duncan is determined most are not bright enough to identify any specific courtroom methodology. Now, on the lakeshore, Duncan keeps his voice grim, strict. If you attend on this property without the owner's permission, you must be in the company of a real estate agent. You, the owner? The male, trying to sneer. He sees me as aging, slightly overweight, balding, Duncan guesses. He regrets he's wearing sloppy gardening clothes, but reminds himself there was no time to change into something more intimidating to this sort of person. Duncan had been using the electric weed eater at the flower bed by the birches in front. Anne had nagged him for more than a week to attend to the chore. He'd slipped the ear protectors off to go to search for more extension cord when he heard a vehicle door slam and saw the oversized pickup by the road and the couple disappearing down the trail. Immediately, he had scolded himself for not having already put his plan into effect. He fights the urge to smooth his left hand over his hair. Instead, he points up the trail. I'm a neighbor. I keep an eye on this property for the owner. I live across the road. The middle sentence is not true, so the words have to be pronounced in a strongly declarative mode. Duncan is aware that an untruth forcefully spoken in the midst of truth is invariably convincing. The strategic sandwich is his name for the true firm fact, bracketing a shakier one, or a white lie. He takes another step toward the couple. I'm also a lawyer. If you're present on this property without the owner's express permission, or unless accompanied by a real estate agent, you can be charged with trespassing. That's a serious, serious offense. Fear on their faces. We were just looking around, the female whines. The male, though, starts to scowl. Duncan can almost see the poor devil's brain smoking in an attempt to produce an effective counter. Hostility about to surface. Your goal is not to win popularity contests. Duncan almost chants the phrase old Robinson drilled into him through Duncan's year of articling, the watchword that has sustained him through the decades of his own practice. Your goal is to win cases, to win thereby not personal approval, but respect. All right.